So, friends, on Wednesdays we have such a beautiful and easygoing practice. It's a bit of a Zen practice, and what we've been doing is we've been reading the work of Zen masters. We began this practice a number of years ago with Suzuki Roshi's Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And then we spent 2.5 years studying Roshi Joan Halifax's book, Standing at the Edge. We started this book about a month or so ago titled Go Slowly, Breathe, and Smile by Rashini Ray. And what Rashini Ray did was generate art to accompany the wisdom of Thich Nhat Hanh. And Thich Nhat Hanh, as many of you know, is a Vietnamese Zen master who died a couple of years ago at the ripe young age of 95, 96, I think it was. He is the creator of Plum Village and hundreds of books. His work is world renowned. He was an extraordinary bodhisattva that we were very privileged and honored to have among us. So we'll be studying his work today. But before we begin, let's really arrive to this practice. And for anybody who's joining Recovery Dharma for the very, very first time, this is an opportunity for you to put down all expectation of yourself, to just put down all the story, all the worry to the degree that you can, and maybe just take this time to receive, to receive the limitless qualities of loving kindness, compassion, joy, freedom. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to begin our practice by sharing with you a sentiment of metta, loving kindness. And I'm just going through all of these little cards of loving kindness that I create. This is one that I painted. These little splotches on here are dripped crayons. Because what do you do with crayon nubs? You melt them with a lighter and you drip them on paper. That's what you do. I don't know if you knew that. This one reads, friends, may your light be bright. May your light be bright. Oh. May your light be bright. Sometimes to be in a posture of receiving and to encourage a posture of receiving, it's really important to put the body at ease. And so if you'd like to take this opportunity for your meditation to lie down, I would encourage you to do so. Sitting really tall with a really strong, straight back is one way to do meditation. There are many ways, including lying down and maybe even inviting a little bit of rest. Arrive completely to your practice, friends, and arrive knowing that you engaged so many aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path, one of the foundations of the Buddhist practice, in order just to be here today. Wise understanding, knowing that it's important to gain access to understanding the mind and heart and what motivated our habit energy. wise intention, cultivating an intention to heal. Not only to stop using drugs and alcohol or overeating or using the internet or whatever our habit energy is, but to understand and have the intention to really grasp the causes and conditions of those behaviors and to heal it all. This takes a lot of wise action and wise effort. And one of the most important qualities that we can begin to cultivate is wise speech. Talking to ourselves differently, using the power of encouragement, giving ourselves permission to rest, giving ourselves permission to be seen, giving ourselves permission to practice noble silence. These are all elements of wise speech, and friends, this can change our whole way of life. And it requires a degree of mindfulness and concentration. There it is, the Noble Eightfold Path. And we've already done it just in the first 10 minutes of this practice by showing up here today. Amazing. Congratulations to all of us. Allow this to be a bright light within, and may it radiate warmly and beautifully. Allow a gentle gaze to turn inward, and allow that inward gaze to pay attention to the way you are naturally breathing. And simply breathe in and out. And let's breathe together, breathing in, breathing out. And let's see if we can make a concerted effort to breathe in with a little bit more discipline, allowing the breath to be slower and deeper. So bring your gaze down toward the belly and allow your attention to watch the belly rise as you slowly inhale. And then maybe as the exhale begins, maybe a little mischievous smile can grace your lips, and watch the belly descend, emptying the lungs of air. And maybe inhale again. And exhaling. These deeper, slower breaths have a very positive physiological result in the body. So when you breathe in deeply and slowly, you increase the oxygen in all of your red blood cells. Those highly oxygenated red blood cells travel throughout your body, and they, give a gentle squeeze and a hug and a high five and a what's up to all your organs, and they make everything work better. All from taking some intentional deep breaths. Amazing. So for the course of your practice, let your breath, your breathing in and out, that slow, deep practice be an anchor that you return to over and over, a place. If you get bored, you can Return to breathing in and out. If you find yourself getting agitated for whatever reason, you can breathe. If you're feeling anxious about your afternoon that has yet to arrive, you can come back to the breathing over and over and over again. It's your most loyal companion. Today's mantra from Thich Nhat Hanh is, there is no way to enlightenment. Enlightenment is the way. I have seen this particular saying in different iterations on cards. One of them is, there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. There is no way to mindfulness. Mindfulness is the way. There is no way to enlightenment. Enlightenment is the way. All a little bit annoying, wouldn't you say? Because if you have a mind anything like mine, I want the formula. I want the to-do list. I want the recipe. Just tell me how to get there. I want the map. And Thich Nhat Hanh saying, yeah, there's no map. There's just going. And you know, that's all lovely when you're actually not going. Because sort of in the going aspect of it is the drudgery of it, the mud of it. And it can get really difficult and challenging. And this is where we are confronted with what we've been talking about all week, which is options. One of the options when the going gets tough is we can give up. Another option is we can return to habit energy. Another option is we can stop. Another option is we can keep going. Each of those options, should we choose them, present with valuable lessons. And they present with qualities of discernment that we know. So when we decide to stop, we kind of know what that's going to look like. When we return to habit energy, most of us definitely know what that's going to look like. Only when we keep going do we face a degree of uncertainty, and that is the challenge. It's also the wonder. It's also the curiosity and the beauty and the surprise. And I think sometimes what motivates our capacity and the ease with which we can keep going is how much we have invested in the belief that life is conspiring for our well-being or life is conspiring for our suffering. The Buddhist practice would encourage us to entertain both. Life is not one or the other. Life is both. Life is conspiring for your goodness, and you can bet there will be challenges and discomfort along the way. So keep going. There is no way to joy. Joy is the way. But that doesn't mean the way is without sorrow. Sometimes sorrow is the greatest teacher of joy. It illuminates aspects of joy that are hidden otherwise. As we spend a few more moments in silence, for the month of March, we have been engaging a vipassana practice, a deep looking practice, and we've been exploring words and the associated concepts: clarity, encouragement, dolor, rest, options. Those are the words we've been exploring so far. And what I'd like to bring forward today, especially in the context of recovery, is so much of the negative habit energy that we have engaged has been the direct result of confusion and hurt. We're learning a lot about trauma and the confusion and the bewilderment that that creates, and the coping strategies that we engage to survive, and how those coping strategies over time can become more and more maladaptive. They were adaptive at one time, and then over time they become less so and turn into negative habit energy. In the realm of recovery, obviously, this is usually manifested as the misuse and abuse of substances. There is great confusion when the brain is intoxicated. That confusion manifests in our behaviors and our speech and our thoughts. Enlightenment, or being awake, is simply the permission to explore that confusion, to look deeply at it, to gain some insight and understanding of it, to cultivate awareness and self-acceptance. One of the things I really loved about the Refuge Recovery book written by Noah Levine is he often talked about recovery as being like an archaeological dig, an excavation. And what we're excavating is the clarity of ourselves, the clarity of our minds and hearts. And sometimes we need pickaxes and jackhammers and shovels, but a lot of times we need very fine tools, really soft brushes, enormous patience, gentle, gentle brush strokes clearing away the debris of confusion. So the brilliance and clarity of ourselves can shine through. All of that engagement, all of that action, that's the way. There is no way to enlightenment. Enlightenment is the way. And today we're going to end our practice with a dedication of merit. Friends, for those of you new to a Buddhist practice, we always dedicate this practice outward because anytime you experience something good, anytime you have healing, something positive, one of the things about the Buddhist practice is that you don't keep it for yourself, you share it. So we take this time together, this beautiful experience that we've had together, the wisdom that was exchanged, and we bring it in to ignite that inner light, and then we radiate that light outward. We call to mind all of our friends around the world who couldn't be with us today. We call to mind all of our friends who are in and struggling with active addiction, friends who are in jail, friends who are in the hospital, friends who are isolated and alone. May they all feel the radiance of this practice, and may it instill in them a shy light, but a light nonetheless that is encouraging, hopeful, full of promise and strength. This is a moment of mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh, and he writes, "If you are a poet, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this sheet of paper." If you are a poet, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this paper. It is a call to our interconnectedness, We are deeply, deeply connected to one another, to the earth, to the cosmos. May the light of it all guide you home to your Buddha nature. Thank you, friends, for your beautiful practice. We'll see you next time. Namaste.